So I've not done a video for about 5 weeks. I think the last one I did was sometime in the middle of January 2024. So this is a little bit overdue, but the reason that I haven't done anything for 5 weeks is because it's been a really, really busy time. The first thing that happened was just after the last video, I unfortunately had my car written off. Nobody was hurt, thankfully, but a refuse collection lorry drove into me and then drove off. And because the car wasn't particularly expensive, it was an old thing. Loved it, but it was old. It was written off. It's taken a fair amount of time to just get that sorted. So now I've got myself a new set of wheels, but that set me back because obviously in my business, I really rely on transport, popping to houses, popping to viewings, meetings, etc. I'm sort of flying all over the place. So for 4 or 5 weeks, not having a set of wheels has been a bit of a problem. But we're back on the road. Hopefully tomorrow the car's being delivered, which will mean I can clear a serious backlog. I also obviously haven't then done any Urban Protect jobs. My game plan was to see if I could build a revenue stream for Urban Protect, and obviously I need wheels to do that. So next week is going to be focused on finding. I've actually got 2 or 3 days of jobs lined up for that week, which will be good. From an urban shared point of view, it's been tumultuous to say the least. I lost a chunk of properties to a competitor, which was difficult. A competitor that I knew fairly well. The relationship is a bit strained, but we will work around it. I kind of understand where they were coming from. And I guess, you know, in general, sometimes things don't go your way, and sometimes they do. And I think if you go through kind of life feeling bitter and remorseful, it doesn't help you. It's happened now. Would I have done the same thing if I'd been in their situation? You know, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I would say intuitively no, but I don't know because I've never been in that situation. But anyhow, that happened. And at the same time that happened, we're also taking on a portfolio for another client. So we've been working on basically disposing of some and acquiring others into that urban shared management platform. Some of the other things that have happened in the last six weeks is with regards to Urban Protect. I sent out a survey. You'll see on screen some of the questions that I asked in regards to the survey. And I think the summary is there is absolutely demand for a subscription-based maintenance business, but it feels as though the price point would be below £50, which was lower than I was anticipating, but that's what the data is telling me. So I'm looking at ways of creating a product that maybe has a tiered subscription platform. So for £50 or for around about that price point, you can certainly get an element of monthly protection, maintenance, etc. And then there are tiers in the model that enable you to purchase more feature-rich packages. I've built a prototype. You'll see the details on screen now, which I haven't done anything on for a couple of weeks. To be honest, the fact that my car was written off threw off a lot of planning for the last 3 weeks, so it's been really quite challenging. So with regards to the prototype, my plan with that would be to show that to some people that I know are interested in general with the product and see whether that's something that they would be interested in using. Urban Protect has taken a little bit of a back seat in the last couple of weeks because I'm also talking to some colleagues and some competitors around working more closely with them on the urban shared side of things. I have got 2 relationships, one of whom is a developer, and I'm proposing to him that I manage the UK/London part of his business, and he's expressed an interest in doing that. Currently Urban Shared manage one of his HMOs, and I also project manage and provide kind of directorial services to the rest of his business. He's a small operator, but has developed 4 or 5 fairly sizable projects in London, a couple of social housing developments. We've got one commercial to residential site being developed as we speak, and offers in on another one. And I'm proposing that we sit down, work out exactly what it is he wants to achieve, and I basically operationalize that and make it happen. That's interesting. It would definitely be something a little bit different for me. That's one thing that I'm pushing forward at the moment. And then the other thing is an opportunity that I've been discussing with a shared living provider around a management only business. They've been talking to an individual who has a portfolio of about 180 rooms or units who that he self-manages, and he's looking to offload that management, go and live abroad. So he came to this company and suggested that they have some conversations around providing management services to him, and they've brought me into the conversation. It's very early stages. We've only had 1 or 2 conversations, but they've brought me into the conversation as an equity partner to potentially run it while they focus on growing their business. So that would be super exciting. It's a fairly sizable portfolio of management-only rooms. I guess also the other thing that I haven't mentioned is we've finally got Dahomey Road under offer, which is a double-edged sword because it does generate some decent short-let income. But if we sell it, then I can simplify my finances, pay off a few debts, and essentially just decrease the size of the income and the size of the outgoings. And just to sort of provide some context, I am on I think a 2.99 fixed rate interest only buy-to-let mortgage on this property. And at the end of March, the fixed term ends and I move on to the standard variable rate for this provider, of which it's 9.49%. So my mortgage costs will more than triple in March. I'll be paying nearly £5,000 a month for an interest-only mortgage, which is, unbelievably crazy. It's a really difficult time at the moment, I think, for anybody that's in property, or particularly anybody that's in property that's leveraged, which was what happened in the last 15 years. So that's under offer at a price that's kind of okay, but it will definitely simplify all my finances. It'll enable me to put a little bit of capital aside to help with the development of Urban Protect. It will simplify and reduce a lot of the expenses. I've got some business loans that I will pay off. I've got some personal loans that I will pay off, and it will essentially give me a really good starting point to move forward with a kind of financial P&L that's just easier to manage. So that's also going on. So I think with that, that's the end of the summary, and catch you on the next video.